in the engine room here. Next project on the Lehman is to change the oil coolers. Last time we did a little segment on the transmission coolers. Today's the oil coolers. We don't know how old these are per se. We just know that it's been about 1,000 hours, and that's where we want to be when we're replacing these. I've had no issues with it. Oil is being cooled just fine, but if it does fail, the problem is it becomes water intruded oil inside your engine, which you can't have. So with that, we're going to start the process of removing this oil cooler here and putting this one in. I've already shut off the water source to the engine, and I got some tools ready, so we're going to get going. First, we're going to remove the holding nut. You'll put a little PB blaster on that, should make it a little easier. Loosen the clamps. Water's going to come out a little bit. I got a little pan to catch it. This can get loose. Okay, that one's loose. That one is loose. I'm going to have to transfer these fittings over to the new one, so we'll do that once it's off. I'm going to get 2 pans, one for each side. Finish taking these off now. A little bit of oil coming out there. Issues with oil coming out, but maybe it'll be already gone from the other side. There's a little bit in there. It's always nice to have these. Rip it up a little bit into pieces so I can put it underneath here. It's easier to pull it this way. This is kind of a trial and error here since I've never done it. Yep, there she is. Well, a little bit of water coming out. Alright, let's take a look at this new one. Get the plugs off on the sides. We got to transfer over these here and see if we can get these off. See, there's a little bit of sealant on there. We're going to take that old stuff off and put some different stuff on. I like to put the old plugs back on these things so it minimizes the dripping when I take it out. Whatever's left in there. Okay, we're back. Cleaned up the threads. Dealt with a little mess. So I'm going to put a little bit of pipe thread sealer on this. I like to do that. Called Brian at American Diesel. He said that's fine. Just don't use the white stuff, which I'm not. I'm using the yellow gas pipe thread. Clean up a little bit of the water here. Want to put it in a place that doesn't get too far down where it could maybe leak into the exchanger itself. Luckily it fits. I'm going to hand tighten them and then I'll get them from there. Put them on there a little bit more and then I'll get the big wrench out and finish it off. Probably good. About to the line of the previous product that was on there. Now, I believe these are not directional from what I understand, but I'm going to put it back to where this bleeder is right where it was before. There we go. I'm going to turn over these lines one time just to make sure there's no water that had dripped in there, and I want to send water into the I do not want to send water into the engine, so Kind of turn it over one time. Get it started. Do the same with this one. Get it started. Wipe things off here. And this boat's pretty new to me. I had it about a year, so as I'm working through stuff, I try to look for things that may be an issue. And in my firefighter experience, especially dealing with fleet, I always look out for chafing situations, and I think there's a little chafing situation right here, so I am going to put something between those to take up some of that friction. Question is what? I'm going to look around for something and see what I can find. Alright, I'm going to cinch these up. These are compression on this side, so it shouldn't be, you don't really need anything more than what it has cinched. Okay. And I get this one a little bit closer. There we go. Not much real estate on this anyway, so you gotta kind of keep it close. And check the ones next to it just in case they got dislodged while I was working here. And of course, once we run it for a little bit, we'll also check it again in case they came loose. Okay, the last thing we got to do is seat this thing in its holster. See if I can use this to my advantage. Keep it tight while I'm trying to get that nut on there. Alright, gives me a chance to put the nut on before she tries to bounce back. With any luck, it'll just spin right on without having to hold it. Now, gotta hold it. Okay. I didn't find any chafing material yet, but I'm going to look for a piece of old gasket or something to put in there. But for now, it's on. And we'll run it a little bit later, see if she leaks. And if she doesn't leak, we're good to go. Alright, a little follow-up on the piece of friction. Got a little piece of hose I found in stock, and I just split it. And we're just going to put it right in that little crevice right there. Slipped it in there. It's nice and snug. I'll probably throw a zip tie on it here shortly, but I don't have one on me. But I'll put it on there. Keep it off that little spot, and should be good. So that's it. The oil cooler replacement is now done. Yeah, the old oil cooler was replaced in 2017, so it's 9 years old. It was definitely due. So it's on there. I'm going to do the starboard engine another time, but that one is outboard, a little more difficult to film. So same process, just on the other side. Actually, right down in there, below the heat exchanger. So, a little tougher.